Hello, welcome back to week 9 of the BCS podcast. We're doing a recap of week 8 into the preview of week 9. Obviously, some big things going on this week, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, gentlemen, how was the weekend?
Boring. Bye week.
That's fun.
It was fun to sit back and watch a full college football Saturday and just actually watch every single game and see what some teams are made of, and not too many surprises, I guess. Some, but not in our conference.
I mean, there was a couple. We can just get started right off the bat. Oregon dominates Purdue. Wasn't even close. The spoiler makers had zero chance of winning this game.
They literally, no joke, that place was electric for the first 2 minutes of the game, and then
it was dead.
I mean, they actually showed up for once, to a game early. Everyone was pumped up. Everyone was like, "Oh, spoiler makers, here we go. We're going to beat number 2 again, ruin their season." And no.
Some of us tried to tell you this. We did what we could.
Yeah, the game could have been way worse. Oregon just kind of cruised. Once they started having a 28-point lead, they just cruised. They were just like, we're done. This game's over. Because they scored 2 touchdowns right in the first couple of minutes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Purdue's quarterback, I mean, he was running for his life the entire game. He literally was trying to do everything by himself.
Did the same thing last week. It didn't end up working out entirely well for them then. But, I mean, this game, what was it? They scored within 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. It was 2 or 3 minutes.
It was 3.
It was 3.5 minutes.
It was 4 plays.
It was tough, and they ran the ball on them. But again, Oregon gave up a ton of yards on the ground again. The run defense is still to be in question. Literally outside of Ohio State game. I'm not even trying to be that guy, but Purdue went crazy. Their backup running back had almost 100 yards. So
it's almost like they were focused on, hey, we're going to finally shut down Ohio State. We're going to shut down. And there was they kind of sold all out, I feel like. But here's the other thing. They give up a lot of rushing yards late in this game, really late.
Mm-hmm. And it is one of these things where if you get, you think about it, the emotional letdown, you're traveling, not every time zone, a couple, still cross country, I'd say technically considering where there are. On a short week after a crazy game and you go out there and you shut out a conference opponent. That's 10 out of 10. Nothing you can get mad at here.
Yeah,
Evan Stewart had a huge catch first drive. It was what it was. It was some good stuff from Oregon, and they took care of business, which is what you want to see from a team. Speaking of taking care of business, next game I guess we could just roll right
Indiana.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Can I
having a chance? That was tough.
An apology from both of you on this.
Yeah, I just don't. Dylan Raiola basically showed that he's a freshman in this game. He was not prepared for the game, and Curtis Rourke kind of pieced him up. He showed that he was MAC Player of the Year last year. Or was he MAC Player of the Year last year?
He was, yes.
Yeah. He showed why he was the MAC Player of the Year. He really, he was throwing it all over the place. He got hurt, unfortunately, so it sounds like he'll be out at least 1 week, maybe 2, which sucks. Especially because we'll just get more into that later. But, that's just a tough thing to happen in the second half. Thankfully, most of their points came in the first half, and they were just coasting. After the first half, it was 28-7, and it was just all right, we're gonna do whatever we want now. And,
pretty much. And you know what? That's the thing Indiana did. They just did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, it was kind of insane.
Not too worried about this week anymore.
No. Defense in the country gives up 56 to a basketball school. There's something wrong with their metrics. I don't know what's going on. We'll look into it, but my goodness.
Yeah. It's also hard to judge because Indiana's going to have a tough time, especially if their quarterback does not play for a couple weeks. But the defense. Nebraska looked terrible. Just terrible the entire game. They didn't look like they were prepared at all. I think they averaged 4 yards a play or something, which is unbelievable.
Shout out, baby Mahomes, 3 picks.
Yeah. Next game, Wisconsin keeps rolling, wins 23-3 against Northwestern. That's weird because they have this backup quarterback, and now he's rolling.
Pretty much since Cozzi and I were on Twitter saying that they were going to not make the bowl game, I believe they've won out.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. And basically both of us were in agreement. Yeah, they're not a bowl team. They're not. And now they have a big game this week, like a huge game. Like, this is huge in the grand scheme of the Big Ten in general. I mean,
and it's also huge for a development of a quarterback that, I mean, was a backup. So, I mean, this could be his, like, he could start.
They could run the same game plan that, USC tried to do, run him on the ground, do what it is. Obviously, a ton of trick plays. I don't know if Whiskey's got the trick plays in him, but Phil Longo obviously can always have you win games doing some crazy stuff. So,
you never know, but we'll touch more on that in a little bit. Next game, UCLA beats Rutgers. Rutgers was like a 5-point favorite. I fell for the trap. I did. I can't lie. Ethan Garbers played unbelievable. 32 for 38 for 4 touchdowns and 383 passing yards. Unbelievable week from him.
Imagine a quarterback who throws for over 300 yards and a team who scores over 20 points.
Yeah.
One of the only teams this season to win cross time zone, and they went as far as you can go in the conference, I believe.
And also, by the way, UCLA first time this year over 20 points in a game.
Yeah,
pretty sure Rutgers started 4-0, and they're now currently 4-3.
Yep,
and they are going to lose this week as well. So straight to 500. Everyone before the season got cute, said them over 8.5 wins is, I think it was 7.5 or 8.5 was free money.
It's like it's almost
and now you're in deep shit. So
yeah,
I mean, they're still in the chance where they could possibly miss a bowl game at this point. Their schedule.
Minnesota's not going to be easy. Maryland, who knows what they're going to look like, and Illinois and Michigan State. I mean, yeah,
it's Speaking tough. Of Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, now we can talk about.
Anyone watch a second of this game? I didn't watch a second of this game.
Not a second of this game.
All of a sudden, in the group chat, I forgot which game was going on. I think it was in between the SEC games. Someone just goes, "Holy shit, Maryland won!" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, ha ha ha." Then I
it was 21-7 at halftime. Billy Edwards played out of his mind as well. 39 for 50 times throwing the ball. By the way, 373.
Got a special.
2 touchdowns. Connected with his guy Ty Felton, who's pretty good receiver.
God, he's good. God, he's good. Graded to be on a fantasy team. That guy's absolutely.
And then they kind of just pieced back in, had a 2-point conversion, and then Billy Edwards did it himself to score the game-winning touchdown with like a minute left. The collapse of USC is unbelievable because you would think that they were so close to beating Michigan, and then they squeaked one out at Wisconsin, and then they've lost 3 straight. Two opponents who realistically they shouldn't be losing to.
But by the way, I just want to say, field goal kickers. SC missed a field goal in this game, apparently. Which, like I said, I didn't watch it, but I want to say this: great fucking call by their coach to go for 2.
Yeah. At
that point, because then if you hold and you score again, you still have the opportunity to go for 2. But because they went for 2, scored the touchdown, took the lead, they tied it. They kicked the extra point for the win. Like, great call by their coach. I think he kind of knew, like,
hey, new analytics play from the last,
especially with 10 minutes left in the game. That's a great time to do it.
Here's the thing: it's like you knew how like this game was going to go, kind of thing. Like, all the momentum's on our side. We have no shot to win. We shouldn't have any shot to win. And hey, by the way, guess what? Now, Maryland, you have a better record than SC right now, who is now under 500.
Yeah, people were doing their victory laps again with them when they beat LSU, and then I forgot who else they beat. They beat somebody in the Big Ten to start, and they were like 2-0, 3-0, and they were shutting people out, and it was like, this is a different SC team, blah, blah, blah. They lose to a god-awful Michigan team, and then the wheels fell off. I mean, I remember there was a good tweet out there from one of our good friends, Arrogant Nation, and he tweeted out, and he's like, this is the weather they were telling me we were going to do, where, it's going to be 80 degrees this weekend with another East Coast game. They're 0-3 in games outside of the Western time zone. So, and that's how they'll finish for the year, because they have a few road Big Ten games on their time zone. So they'll have to at least wait over a year to get a win in the Eastern time zone.
They have a chance to, unfortunately, this is another team where, they're playing Rutgers.
Put them in the Pinstripe Bowl.
They're playing Rutgers this week. That game is going to decide which one of those two teams probably makes a bowl.
I think SC is a 2-touchdown favorite, but Who knows this game?
But then they play Washington.
That could be a Schiano save his job special.
They play Washington, really? Nebraska, and Notre Dame.
No. Hold on. Wait. You said Schiano saved. Schiano's not going anywhere. Okay.
Just a hypothetical thing. Same thing with what's his name with PJ Fleck. No. He's never in doubt, but he always has a job-saving win every year. USC was his this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, USC has lost to Maryland and Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Michigan.
Yeah. And Penn State. I don't know how they played close with Penn State. That's a shocker still.
We just remember they were getting their ass kicked by Wisconsin, and they suddenly found this like great within inspiration that scored them 4 touchdowns in a row. I mean, imagine if that game is flipped for Wisconsin. Right now, we're talking Wisconsin and Penn State as a top 25 matchup, and you're talking top of the leaders of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like Wisconsin legit they're kind of back.
I mean, it's tough because they're just playing. They're playing teams that they should beat with a quarterback, but also at the same time, like they're playing their next 4 games: Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska. That's going to really tell a lot. I'd say that's going to really tell a lot.
Yeah,
because they're at Iowa, at Nebraska, and I think those 2 games, if they can, I mean, maybe they got this offense figured out. I mean, they're not scoring a ton of points. They only scored 23. The week before they scored 47, but I mean they're kind of just averaging what most of the Big Ten teams score right now. But maybe the offense is starting to click a little bit. Who knows? What else do we got left? I guess I'll go.
Sure, whatever you want to
do. Yeah. So Michigan State. We were like 7-point underdogs. We at home. Defeat Iowa 32-20. Absolutely shut down Caleb Johnson, except for one play. I think he had like 13 rushes for an average of like 1.9 yards. He absolutely couldn't do anything. Cade McNamara had this one crazy touchdown pass that he started hyping up the crowd because it was, the entire first half, we were up 12-0 at halftime. Jonathan Kim played unbelievable, 6 for 7 for field goals, longest 55. Missed from 55 and got one back, which was a huge thing for confidence. It barely went in, but leading 12-0. They score right out of half. And Cade's hyping up the crowd like, I can't hear you now. And he's getting all hype. And then the next drive, right after they scored, we just score right back. And then they do some trick plays with Brendan Sullivan, backup quarterback. Shout out to a quarterback from Michigan, which is kind of cool. He scores on this trick play on fourth and goal, I think it was. It was like some botch snap that he ran in. And then from there, 2 more field goals. Caleb Johnson had his one big play, his 75-yard touchdown that he had where he ran to the outside. They try to go for 2, doesn't get it. And then we kind of are only up by 5, and we're like, well, we need to figure this out. And we had an absolutely wonderful drive. Aiden Childs looked really composed. Outside of his one interception in the first half, I think he started 6 for 10 with an interception and then finished the rest of the game with like 2 more incompletions. Nick Marsh played unbelievable too. Had this sweet play on the last drive. But yeah, that last drive kind of showed that our offense can move the ball. Average about 5 yards a carry, which was good. We were getting a push from our offensive line, which hasn't really been a good thing this year with how many injuries we have, 2 or 3 guys out for the season already. But averaging 5 yards a carry against an Iowa defense that, they pride themselves on defense and scoring 32 points and finishing the game we did, how we did. It was a good complete game. It was our first probably complete game of the season. And it put us right back into the win column above 500, which is where we always want to be. And looking forward to this week. And we can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I know. In your game, you had it was like, I don't even know if you mentioned it. It was right at the end. The Aiden checks out of the play, like on the goal line, and just bullet swing past screen to Marsh 1-on-1 up top of the screen. Being able to, I don't even know if Michigan's audible once this year, but being that young and being able to audible and check out of plays, it's certainly something. And we can get to, I even said right before we started recording, next week before you hopped in here, that the line's already down to 3.5. So we'll definitely see what happens next week. But I I mean, I've reached complete apathy with Michigan. I mean, I think Cozzi could tell this by how I was texting. I just didn't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, they started off, they're wearing leather helmets, already making fun of Michigan. And then they do like this intro to the CBS thing where they're faking that it was black and white.
Can we talk about that? That was,
TV didn't even exist back then.
That was so bad that they were doing this black and white thing. It was like, come on. Like,
the funniest thing was we were in town for regatta and there was no winds. Everyone just got absolutely hammered. And a kid bumps into the TV right when it starts. I swear to God. And we're like, this idiot just broke the TV. We had to change the channel. I swear to God. We had to change the channel, make sure it happened. We're like, all right, hold on. I was looking at it and I was like, see, why is it all fuzzy? Like, it's not, it would have changed the color. What the hell? And then it went back and we're like, well, okay, whatever. So that's great.
Yeah, they did some old intro like from the 30s, and there wasn't even TVs in the 30s or something. Exactly. So it's like, what are you trying to do here?
Exactly. And so they were doing that. And you just look at how the game started. First drive, they walk down and they get a field goal. They were doing some shenanigans, a lot of different plays, doing what they can. There was, questionable offsides on our safety. You know how hard it is to be a safety offside. Just Makari Page, brutal season year round for him, but whatever. So you hold him to a field goal in the first drive pretty quickly too. You walk out there, first play is a Donovan Edwards is out there. And when I look down and I tell you I live bet Illinois when the second I saw him come out, I'm not lying to you. I did. First play was a drop back, deep pass, Jack Tuttle, total miss. Next play is a Donovan Edwards run up the middle. It's already 3rd and 8. Another Jack Tuttle pass, low and behind him, wasn't even close to him. Looked like an absolute child throwing it, whatever. And then our punter, great thing about Tommy Doman was he was all conference last year. He got the yips, 30-yard punt. I mean, we had our good friend WVB in our group chat today put out the PFF rankings. He's not in the top 20 punters in the Big Ten. So some teams have multiple punters and their backups are better than mine. That dude was all conference and he's just off the face of the earth, whatever. Then you hold him to a 3-and-out. Pretty good 3-and-out too. They had a big penalty, but it was holding, whatever. Then once again, you have a 3-and-out. But the problem, you punt. But the thing is, here we go. First play, Mullings, 4-yard run. Second play, Mullings, 11-yard run. Third play, Edwards, 5-yard run because you have a fake to Mullings and you pitch to him out wide. Okay, we're cooking here. You had Samaj Morgan do something. He caught a pass. 3rd and 2. What's the play? Mullings up the gut. We figured it out. Okay, here we go. Cooking with grease. Tuttle incomplete pass. Tuttle incomplete pass. Tuttle 3-yard pass. The Lions used to do this thing where they would do 3 or 4-yard routes on 3rd and 10. And it's like, okay, cool, you caught it. What does that even do? Whatever. So it's 4th and 4. Tommy Doman, 20-yard punt. So we have 2 punts for a combined, I think, 65 yards at this point. We're doing excellent. We then, once again, the defense stands. Brutal personal foul, illegal hands to the face. Another bad one. I don't know how these keep getting called. Putting your hand, this is not a face, okay? Some dudes are in a little bit of choke play. I don't know. Apparently the Big Ten refs aren't. The chick threw it, so clearly she's a prude. But whatever, it is what it is. We go forward then. One of the first 3 or 4 brutal pass interferences. Again, listen, I try to be objective when I can. Ball was not even close to catchable. Clearly over his head. Whatever. Gives him a free first down. Doesn't matter. You then, incomplete pass. They get it down. It was 4th and inches. He runs for it, and he does not get it. It was a great play. 4th down. I was like, okay, boom, momentum back. Here we go. The defense once again stands. People are still calling for Wink to be fired at this point, where you gave them 3 short fields and they have 3 points. We look at the fumble here. First play, pass to our backup tight end, 5 yards. Donovan Edwards run, and then Jack Tuttle run for 13 yards, but fumble. So that's the thing with, he had a good running play, fumble, whatever. So then they get the ball on the 38-yard line. First play, 11 yards. Second play, another BS pass interference. They get the ball first and 10 on the 12-yard line. You hold them there. Run for 4 yards, run for no gain, and a sack. Boom. They kick a field goal. At this point, you're like, okay, they've had the ball with a drive starting in our territory, 3 of 4 drives, and it's 6-0. Just do something. What happens? First play, the worst interception I've ever seen in my entire life. Called back for a phantom holding penalty. That's great. Next play, what do? Phantom holding? Middle. He finally breaks a tackle, fumble. So you've now turned the ball over 3 times in 3 plays. They get the ball and, Firewink Martindale, bro, whatever. By the way, these are the drives for the defense. Michigan offense was a minute drive. Michigan offense for a 30-second drive, a 1-minute drive, and a 4-minute drive. Okay, so you've had 4 drives. 3 of them have been under a minute or under. That's insane. Okay, so the defense is absolutely gassed. They give up a touchdown, whatever. The stat stinks because they got the ball on their own 49-yard line. So it wasn't actually in their time. It actually helped the starting field position for them. Excellent time. They go down, whatever, they score. I don't care. It was a Zeke Berry, another weak pass interference on clearly it would have been a 3rd and long, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I was texting Cozzi. I don't even know if he has them, but I was just like, whatever. It is what it is. Even when the Ohio State guy is like, dude, whatever. And then what happens? They score a touchdown, and then it's like, okay, cool. We finally figure out what happens. Ready for this drive summary. This is the last one I'll do, I promise. Khalil Mullings run for 8 yards. Khalil Mullings run for 7 yards. Khalil Mullings run for 6 yards. Khalil Mullings run for 5 yards. So I don't know if you're keeping track at home. That's 5 runs of 5 yards or more. We're already at midfield. Pass to Loveland, 16 yards. Pass to Loveland, 10 yards. Pass to Samaj, 8 yards. Khalil Mullings, 7-yard run. Khalil Mullings, 4-yard run, and then some shenanigans at the goal line, but we still score. And it's like, okay, I remember I had a tweet, and I was like, Loveland and Mullings only challenge. No one else gets to touch the ball. No one else is allowed. Even Samaj is doing something. And then they get the ball down. They're going crazy. They sneak it all the way down, and you're like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. It's going to be 7-16 at the half. They block the field goal. Boom. All the momentum out of the world. What do you do on your first drive out the half? Mullings run for 2 yards. Mullings run for 1 yard. Jack Tuttle sack. Again, minute-long drive. You run it twice, and it was a minute long. Whatever. Then they score. We miss a field goal. A great Michigan 15-play, 65-yard, 9-minute no-scoring drive. Then they punt. We throw a brutal back-breaking pick. It was the best part of that was it was 4th and 18.
Well, okay.
You throw a crazy pass to Loveland for 20 yards. Then you run the same play, and they pick it off the exact same play. Whatever. End of game. I turned it off.
Can I say this?
By all means.
Your block. That was a blocked field goal. That was a terrible snap. Terrible hold. Like all
around bad game for Doman.
Oh, I mean, it was really bad. The hold though was really bad though. I mean,
yeah. You look at the game stats here. We had more first downs. We had better 3rd down efficiency, better 4th down efficiency. We're 3 for 4 on 4th down. We had more total yards, more passing, less rushing. Granted, one of their rushes was a 40-yard fake punt, which I don't know that counts for rushing, which is whatever. Plus all of our sacks. We had more penalties. 3-0 turnovers. We had more time possession. We led in every stat. If you look at the thing, we had more pass yards, more rush yards, more receiving yards for each individual rusher. I got a fun stat for you. Jack Tuttle threw the ball 32 times. Okay. J.J. McCarthy last season. Here's his attempts. 30, 25, 13, 21, 16, 20, 17, 27, 37. He threw the ball 37 times against Purdue. That was because their coach was talking shit about Stallions. 8 against Penn State, of course. 23, 20, 30, 27, 18. So you're telling me in JJ's career, he has thrown the ball over 32 times twice. Okay, one was a loss. And you have Tuttle throwing the ball 32 times. Mullings had 19 carries for 87 yards. Okay. And a few of those was he had a few carries in the goal line where he couldn't average 6 yards a carry because the ball was inside the 6-yard line. Okay. So he averaged 4.5 yards a carry. Even Donovan Edwards averaged 5.4 yards a carry. So just everything went right. The play calling was just so abysmal. Tony Alford, I guess, is apparently I've been trying to figure out who's responsible for who's starting the game. I guess Alford manages who's the back. So it is what it is. I don't know how accurate that statement is. So it stinks that
who is that, Blake?
Edwards in. Yeah, whatever.
Is that Blake?
Edwards had one good game last time when he started, whatever. It is what it is. But it's just total apathy at this point. Will you even make a bowl game? Lord knows. My coach continues to be a sociopathic liar. He says he's not going to name a quarterback until right before game time. He then names one Monday. And it's like, okay, Jack Tuttle, thanks. And just, these other guys that are just not injured for long. Like, Will Johnson's not that injured. I doubt he plays the rest of the season.
Blake.
Do I blame him? No. If I'm anybody with a first-round game, I'm out. The only positive I have, and I have one more thing and I'll say after the positive is I did like great saying from Colson Loveland. He said that our job the rest of the season to play spoiler, which is awesome. It'd be fun. How fun would it be if we popped Oregon and or in Illinois Indiana and or Ohio State. Obviously not the last one. And then the last one I have to talk about is we have a crazy quote. This I have not been as mad at a man in a long time. Sharon Moore stated his plans to guide Michigan back to winning after losing to Illinois and falling to 4-3. Those guys, sometimes you have the look on their face and they're down. Just have fun and enjoy it. That's what we've done the last 2 or 3 years, Moore said.
Hey, Blake.
Being a grown man.
You just got to have fun.
You
just got to have fun.
They're now professional athletes. I don't care what you say. They're all being paid more than you and me. Everyone knows this, even more than some of their coaches at times. That is a stat, okay? And I wanted to be this point where you're saying we want to have fun. The last coach to say that usually gets fired. I believe Neil Brown said that, and they proceeded to get skull dragged by whoever they played this week and the week before. So you have this talk the week of a rivalry game against your third biggest rival. It's their Super Bowl, and you're not even getting this level of energy. You're saying have fun. I have not seen a man that is this over his head in a significantly long time. You look at Brady Hoke, you look at Rich Rod, they at least knew what they were doing, and they had zero support of the administration.
But you landed a 5-star yesterday.
Did their stuff, okay? Brady Hoke at least was sitting there going, I'm not going to do this stuff. This is Michigan, for God's sakes. And you've got him saying, let's go have fun.
Hey,
you landed a 5-star yesterday.
Hey, Blake.
Unbelievable.
Blake, do you have a blood pressure?
No, I don't need it.
Check cuff that you need checked. Okay. I just want to make sure because
I mean, my blood up for this weekend anyway, so I'm getting my game day energy out now.
I'm just going to say this, like, chill out, man, and just have fun and enjoy it.
But look, again, in a vacuum, 99.9% of people on this planet would trade maybe even their firstborn child for what I experienced last year. And some people we damn know well will never experience that feeling their entire lives. And that's the only part that keeps me happy at night.
Or what fan base is that will never experience that?
At least half in college.
Oh, okay. Is there
All right, let's move on to the last week's game.
So ready for the talk of the in-state rivalry.
Okay, let's move on to last week's games. Start with Miami.
Okay, can we start with?
I say, boys.
Miami? Hold on. No, hold on. This is the biggest fix I've ever seen a conference do right now. This is the third game in a row that they have fixed for Miami, or third game this season.
Now, listen, I can get with you in the first two. You texted the fixes, and I'm watching the game, and I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
That was a clear fumble by Cam Ward.
Oh, God, no.
Yes, it was.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was. It was not incomplete pass.
In the world of open, closed hand, that was one of the most clean-cut fumbles I've ever seen. You couldn't be serious, right?
I'm talking about Cam Ward.
His arm went forward with a ball in the hand.
No. Sorry. Did not.
What is happening? All right. We're going to keep going. LSU beats Arkansas. They roll.
One thing I have to mention quickly.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Wait. I want to say
Florida State fan volunteered as tribute and ate shit. This is something to monitor. They played Miami this week.
Yeah.
To monitor.
Okay, hold on. I do want to say this before we say this. Miami, there was when I said the fix was in, I actually texted about a holding penalty. There was a hold. There was a clear, evident hold, and Cam Ward completed a 56-yard pass down to the 5-yard line on a 3rd and 14. Okay. It was a clear as could be hold in front of the officials. Every announcer in the booth was like, yeah, that's a hold. They just missed it. He literally just didn't call it.
That makes sense. Yeah, so we can just go. I mean, we're going to go through real quick. Iowa State survives UCF. They score at the last minute.
Can we talk about the other Big 12 team we missed on Friday night?
UCF stat line, by the way, if you can.
What did we miss on Friday night?
On the ground.
We missed BYU on Friday night, the walk-off against Oklahoma State.
I fell asleep by then.
Yeah. That was a phenomenal game with BYU walking it off with 20 seconds left. It would have been, I think it was 14 seconds left, wide open over the middle of the field. Wide open.
It was a really, 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 really fun game this week. It's BYU. They travel there on down to UCF. Okay.
Yes.
UCF is favored.
Yep.
UCF is 3-4.
Yeah, go like Blake said. Go look at the UCF stat lines. 354 rushing yards with 62 passing yards
and 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
So that game was crazy. The fact they even came back was nuts. Rocco, dude. Matt Campbell, he was rumored to Michigan when Harbaugh was about to get fired in 2020, and the fan base is totally back to that, which is certainly something.
Both the military academies keep rolling.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Army and the Navy are a wagon. They roll. They keep going. Shocker.
5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
For what? Bailey something.
Bryson Daly.
Bryson Daly. There you go. I got
his
Daly.
name.
Boom.
Get to know his name.
Clemson rolled. SMU continues to roll after their terrible start with couldn't figure out a quarterback.
Hey. It wasn't a terrible start because they lost to BYU, who's now 7-0. And they don't play Miami or Clemson.
Dude, I made the call. I said it.
By the way, who goes in the tiebreaker? Because none of them play each other.
That's a very good point.
We also have to discuss this.
Screw SMU.
It probably isn't.
They will find a way to screw SMU out of that.
It hasn't been discussed yet, but Texas A&M might be a sleeper team right now.
They played Mississippi. No, they played Mississippi State. Just no.
Texas A&M is the favorite to make the SEC championship game.
There you go.
They are the favorite.
Dude, after Notre Dame, they have figured it out. I don't know what happened. I don't get it.
Little Texas A&M back-to-back weeks.
No.
Didn't play for 2 decades, and then they play twice in a week or twice a month.
I'm just saying it could possibly happen. Their schedule: they have LSU, South Carolina, New Mexico, Auburn, and Texas. That's it. They avoided every single other team.
I'm telling you right now, they're losing the next 2 games.
Okay, we'll see.
The winner of that game is going to be in the SEC championship game. It's pretty much how it's already lined up.
Yeah,
LSU and A&M, which is crazy.
Well, I don't know about that because
the winner is in first place in the SEC right now.
They're the only 2 undefeated teams in the SEC.
They are, but doesn't LSU have
Vandy? But Vandy's hosting Texas.
Hey, do not sleep on Vandy, okay? Crazy stuff.
Now we can lost to Ball State, but hey, carry on.
Now we can touch the two big ones. Alabama, Tennessee. Nico.
Listen here, fellas.
Oh boy.
Nico's not a very good quarterback right now. That being said, he's a gamer. That throw to Chris Brazil was an absolute dime. Some of the best things I've ever seen. I started almost laughing to the point where I pissed myself at the end of that game. I don't know if anyone watched. Boo Carter should have gone to Michigan. Was talking smack to one of their receivers, and the guy just shoves him in the face, just full on shoves him, and then he just punches him back, and it was pretty funny. They only throw a flag on the Alabama guy, so it's 4th and 29 to end the game. They run a dump off 5-yard route. I started laughing so hard. Milroe has to be hurt because my Heisman favorite before the season. I don't know what's happened to him recently. He's very hurt. He threw 45 times, 25 completions. They were just spamming Ryan Williams, who Tennessee was doubling like he was Calvin Johnson. It worked pretty well. But, I mean, Tennessee was shut out in the first half. I believe that's the 3rd straight week with no points in the first half. Like absolute crap. But, again, their defense is borderline elite.
Yes.
If not top 5 in the country.
Correct.
And Dylan Sampson, I've been on this podcast talking about how good that kid is. He's unbelievable. And you look at everything that they've got going. If Nico figures it out and that offense clicks to what it was before in the first half of the Oklahoma game and before, this team can win the national championship easily. Yeah. That's how good the rest of that team is. But Nico stinks. But the thing is, you look around, and the rest of the SEC, there's no good quarterbacks.
There are not really that many good
Carson
quarterbacks.
Beck just won against the number 1 team on the road and sucked.
Tennessee, man, I'm going to tell you what. The first half, that was ugly. That was an ugly first half between both teams.
We might need to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull up the drive chart because I remember watching it and I was like,
I already got it. Here we go.
Please.
Bama in the first half. Punt, interception. They finally scored a touchdown. Punt, missed field goal. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 punts in the first half out of Bama and a missed field goal.
We're watching Big Ten football at its finest in the SEC.
Tennessee, though, had it even better where they went fumble, punt, missed field goal, interception, missed field goal, and end to half. And by the way, the one interception, what was he thinking? What was he looking at? I don't even know. Like, it was that bad. Overall, Tennessee keeps pulling it out every week. They keep not scoring in the first half at all every single week, and they keep pulling them out. Well, hey, you know what? Take that back. It cost them already one game. I mean, It already cost them Arkansas. So,
and now we can.
I mean, they got a bye week this week, and then their schedule, though, the way it sets up, Kentucky, Mississippi State, back-to-back weeks before you go to Georgia. Look, I don't know how great Georgia is. That game's going to probably be a de facto SEC title clincher, SEC title game clincher. Like, that, it's almost got to be, right? And then
it should be.
And then you got Vandy. I mean, you have UTEP on your whatever, their cupcake game before. I mean, they play Vandy. So, and I mean, hey, you know what? Honestly, this game's at Vandy. Vandy's doing Vandy things right now, and they barely beat Ball State. So I think it's a short-lived Vandy run.
The crazy thing is, if you want to see the state of Tennessee, they didn't rush the field either.
Yeah,
I understand.
Oh, no, they did.
They did.
They got.
I didn't watch the end of the game.
Oh, the
field goal post came down. They rushed the field.
Came down again.
You saw like a ton of smoke going up, and then you saw people running on the field with their cigars.
Well, the SEC actually does a pretty good job of lining up their games. So I believe that the other game, what's it called? Georgia started at 7.
Georgia, yes, you're right. It did. It did actually.
That's what happened. Okay, I wonder what happened.
So speaking of
Twitter
Georgia,
about it, whatever.
They rolled. This might be one of the weirdest situations I've ever heard in my life. Quinn Ewers plays like shit.
Wire-to-wire ass beating.
They take him out of the game and say, let's go to Arch. Let's give Arch a chance. Arch plays so bad that they say, Arch, we don't think you're ready. And then they put Quinn back in. And I'm thinking to myself, his confidence has to be in the basement right now. First off, you put him into the game when they're getting smoked, and then he gets smoked. And then, I mean, this Georgia team, I mean, Trevor Etienne is a beast. I mean, if
he
this
finally
team
showed up. I mean,
this team is going to go
all year.
This team is going to go as far as he plays. I mean, because Carson Beck, he might be serviceable, but he's not great. He had 3 interceptions, like 175 passing yards in a game where they scored 30 points. So I don't know. I think maybe they can get it. It's just so crazy because one week they'll look so good and one week they'll just be like falling off the face of the earth. I mean, if they're playing, it's hard to say. I mean, because Tennessee's offense isn't great, but if they're playing they play Ohio State or Oregon, I think this game is way closer than the score shows because those are the type of teams that will capitalize on turnovers, and Carson Beck had so many. And,
I mean, he had 3 interceptions. Like,
yeah, they had
not scared of Georgia. Not scared of Georgia with Carson Beck.
You have to talk about the play.
Oh, are we talking about the pass interference?
We have to talk about the play.
The precedent that has now been set in the SEC conference. Okay. SEC conference. Good job, Blake. You just can now throw everything on the field and you get a play overturned. If you don't think that they spent that time, that they would have been reviewing things with that, what I would have done is this. At least this is you overturn the flag, then you throw one after the interception on sportsmanlike conduct on the Texas bench for them throwing shit. That's how you had to have done it. The fact that they just got the ball back is crazy. Thankfully, they didn't win because I couldn't really imagine what would happen. But once again, Kirby's smart. A man that knows how to use his words. All-time post-game. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, he basically said, screw you.
He goes,
yeah.
Now you listen right here. Your
Nobody
network didn't think we had a chance. He points to the chicks, you E under the microphone. Microphone didn't think we had a chance. The referee set a bad precedent doing this. He was going nuts. And I'm just like, and it was so good that the best thing that they've done recently is all the cinematic recaps of all these teams do. Georgia cinematic recap. Please watch it. It's on their Twitter.
Yeah, I saw it.
Starts like cinematic, like action, network, not action, like action music, like dramatic, about to be a battle scene, just over Kirby, just going nuts out of his post game, and then it's like, we built a team full of man. And he's just going crazy. And I was like, this is why you want to play for this guy. My third speech I've ever leaked was his halftime speech, or whatever, right before the national championship game. It was one of those speeches he leaked. He's like, "You live for this shit. Go get it!" Ah! He's just screaming, probably foaming at the mouth. But that's how I get up for games, and I would love that.
Yeah, I mean that you cannot allow fans to change a call.
That was pretty bad. That was
a bad
really
call in any of these games in the SEC going forward. You know exactly what's going to happen.
People are going to get pissed. People are going to throw shit. Now we can move on to this week.
Yeah.
We'll start on Friday.
Fun games during the week.
Yeah.
Fun games.
Yeah, fun games during the week, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But
Let's
Rutgers
go to Big Ten.
At USC. USC is a 14-point favorite at home. I don't even know 11 o'clock.
Fight on. It's going to be a blowout.
I think it's going to be a carbon copy of the game against Washington or Wisconsin.
They will never do
up early.
They will never do a Big Ten after dark after the ratings on this game are going to be so bad unless they go to Oregon and Washington. That's the only way you're going to get good ratings. You cannot put USC in this position. You could have had they been good and had Rutgers been maybe 5-2 or something like that. But now you have a 4-3 versus 3-4 matchup with both teams having one win in the conference.
The only reason I think ratings would be okay with this game is you're lucky that one of the G5 championship games of the year is on CBS Sports Network. If that was on a real network, you would have gotten hosed.
Oh, correct. Boise and UNLV, yes.
Yeah.
30 minutes before, you're very lucky that game's on a bad network.
Yes, because I can tell you that, yes, you are correct in that. They would have gotten destroyed.
I was excited, though. We get a night game. Like, we get a late night game, which should be fun.
Yeah, and I will not watch a second of it.
And more importantly, my game's a night game.
But here's where it's going to get screwy, okay?
Because my game is a noon game, and I'm going to be up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, this is where it's going to get weird, though. I mean, these 12, 1, 2, I mean, yeah, Rutgers is starting a game at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, what?
Right? Yeah, I mean,
you're ending a game at 2 in the morning.
No, we'll start. I mean, 2 Eastern, like 2 Eastern time. It would start. Oh,
what?
Wait. I'm
there's that Michigan State education.
I meant ending. Man. I meant ending.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm happy.
Too bad we don't do edits on the show. Too bad.
Yeah, they're gonna be ending at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's nuts. I was like, what? What am I saying wrong? Yeah, they're gonna be ending a game at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's nuts. I would hate that.
It could be past that. It could be later than that.
I'm sure they're already out there.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably leaving now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're already out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll move on to noon.
Okay.
Washington at Indiana. College.
Now,
game day?
Can I just say this? Is this the first ever game day game that's going to be on Big Ten Network?
Exactly. No one really cares.
Okay, hold on.
I am being honest. No one cares about this game. Everyone will be watching Ohio State absolutely eviscerate fake Mahomes. Okay, it sucks because your game should have been Kyle McCord coming back, which would have been awesome. But they couldn't go to Army because they're going to Army Navy, or they couldn't go to the Notre Dame Navy game because they're going to Army Navy. Even though they would have been a neutral site game, it would have been way cooler to go there.
But they can't go back to. They should have went. Realistically, they should have went to Texas A&M, LSU. But
probably. But they wanted it. They wanted to show Indiana.
I think they said something about Lee Corso, like his return or something.
I mean, Lee Corso is literally going to be on the game day set, and this is this may be it.
I'm just guessing that they're doing a tour of this is it.
And here's the other thing. I'm just going to say it. They could have went to Indiana against Michigan. It probably might have been a better game. I don't know.
And it sucks because they're going there and Indiana's quarterback isn't even playing. So
correct. So it does kind of suck for Indiana, but hey, Hoosiers still win this game. Continue on this magical run. Oh,
dude, I don't think so.
Fine. Okay.
I'll go against. I'll be the one to go against.
Am I rolling alone?
I just don't care.
Oh my gosh.
I'm at the point where I've just reached again total apathy, almost with the sport. Not the sport, but we're getting there. This weekend, I could be completely out on Big Ten football.
Oh man, we will get to that.
But I will say, the backup everyone's hyping. I think Indiana wins, but Washington covers.
Dude, he played last year and he was not very good. He couldn't throw the ball really well.
Okay.
If you watched, I know it was a freaking 50-point win. There's a lot of makeable throws. If fake Mahomes knew what he was doing, he would be able to hit a bunch of throws. Will Rogers can hit those throws. Will Howard will too, obviously. But you got Jonah Coleman, good running back. You've got Giles Jackson, who's 50 years old, collected Social Security, but he's out there doing his thing. And the Boston kid's unbelievable. So
yeah, I mean, this is one of those games where if their starting quarterback was playing, yeah, they would blow them out. But man, I have a
tendency of fading really good teams until I run out of money. I'm going to stop doing that. And I just
don't think their backup quarterback can win them this game.
Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. Some people are wrong.
Yeah, I can be wrong. I'll be wrong. I'll probably be wrong. I don't care.
Go Hoosiers. Matt, do you hear this over in China? They're saying what they're saying about your team.
I really want Indiana to go 11-1 and miss the playoff. That's just me.
Matt, I mean,
well, I can tell you the only team that they have to they literally could win every other game and lose to Ohio State, and that would probably do it.
Yeah, but their schedule stinks.
I know that's what I'm saying.
It's their second toughest game of the year.
So if you lose game,
right here,
if you lose this game,
they have to win out to make the playoffs.
They do.
I disagree with that. I think they could still make it if they lose only to Ohio State.
I don't know.
I'm saying that they win out other than that game.
Okay, yeah,
it's tough because they have
all the rest of your games are at home. Like unless you lose at Sparty or at Purdue, I think.
It's first Purdue at home. Purdue's home.
There you go. They have all home games this year too. So they have a fake schedule with all home games. Whatever.
We have no room to talk.
These idiots don't even know what football is this late in the year. Okay, Midnight Madness was last week. They're playing intramurals right now, whatever the hell it is, against fake teams. But listen, whatever. This university doesn't care. Okay, whatever.
Sounds like you're angry.
I just don't care.
Just remember. Remember.
This is going to be so bad. Week 12. I don't
enjoy it and have fun. Enjoy it and have fun.
The 3:30 CB. Oh no, we got to go to Ohio State first. Ohio State.
I mean, do you want me to do a rundown now?
Do our games at the end.
Yeah. We'll just do it at the end. We'll just do it. Okay. 3:30 CBS game. What a stinker. Could be good, but 21.5 point favorites.
Illinois is going to cover this. Illinois is going to cover this spread. It is not going to be that bad of a stinker. Stop.
Brett has one game a year, and he didn't have it against Penn State. This is his last time to have a game.
I don't know, man.
I mean, look, Illinois shouldn't have covered against Penn State, but they did. And I think they might do the same here.
They're going to cover at Oregon. Oregon honestly played their – I mean, they
have to have a letdown spot at some point. They have to.
Yeah.
They did every first 3 weeks of the year.
They kind of did. They did have a big –
the letdown is done. They went from letdown to now we're going to be elite. They're at that point.
There's something brewing. I'm telling you right now, there's something brewing for them that's going to just –
They can't be this good walking into the conference. They legally can't.
I'm walking in and saying that they're going to blow them out.
Okay, that's fine.
Indiana – not Indiana. Illinois scored 21 points against Michigan only because they had field goals and turnovers.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a huge difference. You're going to see a huge difference.
We can move on.
Shout out me hitting the lock of the week last week with the sicko over. 12-0 at halftime. That over hit with ease.
Yeah.
Can we do the under of the week now? Can we please do the under of the week?
Northwestern at Iowa on BTN.
The under of the week, 37.5.
Know,
this is hitting. This under is hitting. It's going to be the same thing as it's going to be like 17-0 Iowa, like maybe 17-3, and they don't cover, or they push. The line's 14 right now. It's going to be low scoring. They're going to shut them down. Northwestern has a good defense. They have a terrible offense. Iowa still won't throw for 300 yards. And there you go.
Yeah.
And Blake just doesn't care.
I'm just trying to think, The spread's 14. Both teams stink. I mean, if you take the under Northwestern, surely you can't lose both.
37.5 under.
Yep.
37.5 under. It's going to hit.
This next game.
Oh,
something.
Yikes.
I don't even know what to think because both teams
Maryland
are
at Minnesota.
Yikes. I don't even know what to think because it looks like the weather forecast says rain right now.
Now, rain that game and the next one, which is
okay.
That looks like it's 4 hours of rain.
Yeah, I know. It's going to rain all day in Minnesota and all day in Wisconsin. Gonna be honest here with you. This over, I thought would have hit if it didn't rain, but it's gonna.
I'm with you. I was eyeing the lock of the week being that over. I'm telling you, man.
If it's gonna rain, I don't know about the over. And I don't even know what the hell is gonna happen in this game. This is a coin flip, as best as a coin flip can be. This could be a Maryland blowout. This could be a Minnesota blowout. Like this could be a close game. Like it depends who shows up.
Minnesota -4 lock of the week. I was looking at this game. There's such a coaching advantage here. Loxley is one of the worst coaches in the Big Ten. I don't care. Okay. I'm sure all 10 fans of the game last week were thrilled with their win over USC.
Okay,
Minnesota needs this game bad to make the bowl, and making a bowl at Minnesota is like their Super Bowl. So, and then after their horrible week last week, they need a little bounce back. So, God bless.
Okay,
Yuma.
I don't care about this game. I'm not even gonna pick anything.
I'll roll with Blake. We'll go Minnesota. Let's row the boat, baby.
They've been a damn good team. They're a very solid team.
They have. All right, next game at 7:30 on
SEC game and some bullshit bowl, and they kick their ass.
Next up on NBC,
feed them Vandy. They'll kill
Penn State at Wisconsin. On NBC, Penn State 6.5-point favorites.
3 Penn State. Holy shit.
What do we think?
I think Penn State walks in here and walks out with a win. Blake still can't get over that Penn State's ranked number 3 in the country.
Who's 2? Is it Georgia?
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia jumped all the way up to 2.
I'll just say it. All right, here we go. You guys already get.
Who's Oregon, Penn State 1-2?
Here we go.
Here we go. You already said it.
He's picking this content. I know he is.
Lock of the week: Penn State -6.5.
Lock wow!
It in. They are going to absolutely roll. They had their stinker game against USC. They are going to roll over Wisconsin.
I absolutely love that.
Oh no! Oh no! We all picked Penn State to win.
Oh
no! Oh man! I
absolutely love that. I mean, look, dude, Wisconsin, they need to fall back to earth at some point. Them beating Penn State would be the funniest thing ever.
Have we hit a Big Ten Saturday night on NBC/Peacock?
Me last week, lock of the week over.
No. I'm saying all 3 of us have picked the same on a Big Ten Saturday night, and I'm pretty sure the other teams lost every time. So a little bit nerve-wracking here, Penn State fans, but I think Penn State rolls. I do too.
At this point, I want chaos. I hope everyone loses. So whatever.
Yeah, I know you do.
Run it down.
Do you want me to take my game and then you two can battle it out? And
you're going to take your game and then you're going to take our game first, and then I want to see what you say first.
Okay. So, look, on a bye week, a lot of stuff was said that I did not like from Ryan Day in the press conference at all. Talking about Jermaine Matthews, we thought about putting him in. No, you put him in for burnt chestnut. Like, dude,
Ryan Day said it was part of the conversation about taking Denzel Burke out of the game. But he made the decision to stick him in the game.
Yes. Not great. Not too happy with that. I understand the concept of you put your guy out there and he takes his lickings, but not in a big game like Oregon. Like we've all discussed, if you still lose to Penn State and you win out and you go 10-2, yeah, we're not winning the Big Ten. Yeah, we're not going to the Big Ten Conference. We're probably getting a home game, though. You're probably still going to be one of the top 8 teams in the country. which is wild to think about. I don't want it to get to that point. I want to win this conference. I want to get the bye. I want to, honestly, we need to get healthy. So we just lost Simmons Simmons for the whole year. He's out. You got Judkins, who is probably going to miss this week. You got Ransom, who's probably going to miss like 2, maybe 3 weeks with a foot. So there's some concerns here with some of these injuries that are a little bit nagging injuries. You got Zen Mikulski, who's going to fill in for Simmons. That's fine. I thought he looked good. He looked okay in fill-in against Oregon. He's now had a full week of practice or full 2 weeks of practice with the bye week and then also another week of practice. Look, things are going to keep rolling. 25.5. We're going to cover that. I think we should easily. Let's see what Zen is made of. Look, I'm not worried about Nebraska at all. I know that's super to say because they look good during the season, but I think that the beginning of the season for them was way overhyped. It's amazing that they're 5-2 coming into this game, but they haven't beat anybody other than Colorado. And yeah, I mean, there were some things in that Colorado game that really went Nebraska's way. So I think we roll like it's going to be 42-10, 42-14, maybe 49-14, something like that. I just don't think it's going to be a close game at all.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't think it's going to be close. I mean, you saw what Indiana did. I mean, he's a young quarterback. He's going to make mistakes.
I'm going to try to find this line. Keep going, Zach. They offer it usually. Let's see if we can keep going.
I mean, it's just tough because the over-under is 48.5 points, and I think Ohio State will score that by themselves. Like, that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? It's like
to win game by shutout is plus 750.
That's nuts.
I know Ryan Day personally meeting with the defense means they're going to suck. You scored 7 against Indiana, and Indiana's unserious. So.
Yeah. So
I die.
I think this might be a shutout game for us, to be honest with you.
Plus
I think
750 is crazy odds.
And by the way, for 2 weeks now, they've all had to hear, well, you're not getting pressure on the quarterback. You're not getting sacks. You're not getting this and that. You couldn't stop. You couldn't defend anybody. You left wide receivers wide open, all this other stuff. So for 2 weeks, they've had to hear that. It's been very, very brutal from Ohio State fan base towards our team. They're listening. Trust me. The players are listening. They're hearing it. So I could see it. I might take the shutout. I might.
Another one I just cooked up right here because I'm chefing right now. First drive punt for Nebraska, under team total 10.5, and Ohio State minus 25.5. That is plus 300.
Yeah.
Under 25.5?
No, the 25.5 is your spread. There's under 10.5 is
okay.
there. I think it's still easy. But yeah. Now tell us about our game.
Woo! Okay. Well, one team's coming in kind of on a high in a shocking upset at home. The other team's kind of just straggling in where I don't think anyone thought that they were going to be. Like, I mean, and when you looked at the beginning of the season, Michigan probably looked at Illinois and went, okay, that's a W for sure. And I know, Blake, we talked about it. You needed to see a 9-3 at worst with losses to USC or a combination of losses with Texas, USC, Oregon, and Ohio State. You said those were your 4 biggest games.
Yeah, I mean, USC we didn't even think was even going to be a good team.
Correct. So then you said between Texas and Ohio State and Oregon, you needed to see Sharon win one of those games and finish 10-2. Now you beat USC, which was shocking because they beat LSU, and everyone thought, man, this USC team's good. So everyone thought you shocked them there. Then you lose to Washington, and now you've lost 2 in a row to Illinois. You're coming home to, I don't know why you keep saying third biggest rival. In my opinion, it's second biggest rival, but we'll split the hairs there, and we'll let you keep it at this third biggest rival. It's an in-state rivalry. I'm in a large group chat with a lot of Michigan State fans. Tensions are high. It's going to be, I think, kind of an exciting game finally. Not offensive-wise, because I think Michigan's defense is still pretty good. The This is going to be I'm still going to take that 40.5 over. I think the over hits. I think that this game is going to be like a 28-24 slugfest. Now, who am I picking to win?
Said 24-20?
28-24.
Over. Woo.
Yeah. I'm going to say I think that somehow, some way, Sparty starts off hot in this game, and Michigan scores 2 touchdowns late to just take it away from them. And I think Skyline
coming back. Does he know?
And I think Skyline throws a big pick late in the fourth quarter to set up the Michigan winning touchdown, and the chat's just going to burn down. So go ahead, guys.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it. I mean, if you told me that the game went from 27 or 24 point spread preseason to now 4 points 4 days before the game.
I know math is hard for this Michigan State fan here.
All right, every day feels like it's the same.
Kickoff at 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's tough because I don't know what to expect. If we play like we did last week, if we play like we have outside, you just look at the trends. Okay, we got destroyed by 2 top 5 teams. We went to the bye. Everyone sat down and said, "Let's get better." And what do? We got better. Okay, Michigan lost the game. They go to the bye, and you would think Michigan's coaching staff says, "Let's get better." Well, offensively, their team looked worse. I don't know how it's possible, but their team went from 17 points against Washington in the game in the fourth quarter to, I don't even know what the offense was in the fourth quarter or in the first half against Illinois. I'm confident, but I'm confidently optimistic. This is a game where I could say we're going to win, and then we get destroyed. It's just a bunch of young pieces. The game is going to come down to, first, if all Michigan players play. Second, can we keep the offense rolling like we did last week? We had close to 30 first downs or something, which was, we kept the ball rolling for sure. Let me just pull it up real quick. We had 468 yards of total offense. If you had told me that this young team would be able to get that many yards against Iowa, I would have called you crazy. But yeah, win the turnover battle, win the time of possession, keep our offense on the field as much as we can. Because that was the problem. We couldn't get time of possession in the first couple games, and we dominated 40-20 in this last game. Contain Mullings. Contain Mullings, I think, is one of the biggest things. You do that, you have everything right in front of you. I think the over is going to hit as well. I just cautiously optimistic. That's where I'm at right now. It's going to be nice because now, even though we're still 4-point underdogs, I feel like there's still a chance where we can shock some people and kind of outside of the top 2 teams show that we're kind of in that next grouping if we do kind of win this game, how I'm thinking. So
this is what you've done, Sharon. You've given these people hope. This man just said he's optimistic about the game. I will choose to ignore cautiously. You have such a talent advantage in this game, such a skill advantage in this game. You should be able to put the controller down and proceed to spank them. You should. Will you? Probably not. If Donovan Edwards starts this game, I might rush the field. Okay?
Enjoy a celebration?
We're at the point where there's just such obvious things. I'm not kidding. Mulling should have 30 carries in this game. I'm not kidding. He would want that. Everyone would want that. I want Tuttle under 10 pass attempts, under 15 pass attempts. This should be You run the ball every play. They had a good time last week of being able to stop the run because Cade McNamara can't throw the ball. Say what you want. Tuttle can throw the ball better than Cade McNamara. I think anyone in this podcast can throw better than Cade McNamara. Let's be serious here. You want to start the game, start hitting some play action, whatever. Every once in a while, you can throw the ball to Loveland. That's about it, okay? But I want Mullings and Mullings and Mullings. More importantly, you got to score on long drives because Childs going to give you at least two turnovers, okay? Aiden Childs loves nothing more in this world than turning the ball over and throwing back-breaking interceptions or fumbling the ball at will. Funnily enough, I think Tuttle almost has as many turnovers as him in his limited time. But Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant should be picking their stats interior here. They should be almost in double-digit tackles for loss combined. They should each have a sack. Like, it should be murder on the dance floor on that defensive line versus their offensive line. I haven't seen a bigger mismatch in maybe this entire season. Okay? So that alone should save you from the fact that Childs will be doing some stuff. Altmaier didn't have nearly as many runs they thought he did. He held him to 80 pass yards last week, which no one's really talking about. So if you keep Childs in check, you have Barham, hit him once or twice, give him a little scrubber, do something, in the tunnel or whatever, I don't know. So just let him know what's going on. Okay. You should be able to take the soul from this team early. I want a 75-yard touchdown drive. I want you to take the ball. Michigan doesn't take the ball much. This is what it should be. You have an opportunity. Okay, look, this is how your season can end up being. We lost every starter and every coach. We went 6-6, but we at least beat Sparty. It was our worst team in 2 decades, but we at least beat Sparty. That can be your saving grace. If you lose the Spartans, you're willing to lose anybody that's trying to protect you in this job. Okay? Because if you lose this game, you're likely not bowling. And if it's your first season and you're not bowling, there's some serious problems. All of that being said, we spent all bye week recruiting. Got a 5-star tackle. Obviously, he's going to help. Our recruits down the line are going to love it. You've now got national writers talking about how Michigan is a serious threat in flipping Bryce Underwood and others. Okay? I almost think if we get killed by a young quarterback and a young receiver, that Underwood will guarantee commit to Michigan. So, in a weird way, I wouldn't hate if Michigan loses this game. That being said, you can't lose this party. Look, the only way to get change at this university is you need rock bottom. You need rock bottom. And losing the Sparty would be rock bottom. So, it's a win-win for me this week. And you can't take that away from me. Because if we lose, there will be change.
Man, that is
if we lose, there will be blood.
Hey, Zack.
We're major underdogs. I don't know.
That is such a Michigan attitude.
We're major
underdogs. It's a win-win for me, even if we lose.
We're major underdogs. We have no chance. We're major underdogs. Remember that?
You needed to get dragged against Michigan, Cozzi, to get an actual defensive coordinator. Did it help you in the long run? No, because Jim Knowles can't do anything. Your D-line can't get any sacks. That being said,
so let's.
Oregon had way worse time against that Purdue front, the Ohio State front. But keep going.
So we'll just touch real quick on this week's games. Pretty good ranked games. Thursday we start off though with the Fighting Cal McCords taking on Pitt.
They're fighting Eli Olstein's 6-0 against the spread. 6-0 straight up for Pitt.
Pitt's gonna win.
The current top 5 player in the country in QBR, and a guy that is 5-1 with a ranked win, not Will Howard, is Kyle McCord. Give me the Q's.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pitt. I think it'll be a great game, though. Lots of points. And then we move to Friday, which has great games as well. Louisville at Boston College, which starts off the day, but then we're moving into that late night game, as we already said. Boise State, UNLV, in what could be potentially for a group of 5 spot in the college football playoff.
Yep. Take the over in this. It's 65.5. Boise State might hit the over on their own. It's going to be I think it's going to be like 50 to like 35 Boise wins.
They are begging you to take Boise in this spot.
No
Why
way.
is that spread only 3? Everyone and their mother is going to put Boise State money line as the first leg of their parlay. Give me the Rebels. Thank you. And as
Nope.
Michigan fans, make sure
Nope.
you're tuning into this game so you watch our offensive coordinator for next season.
Okay.
Everything's about Michigan. We're moving on to Saturday.
Reigning champions. Heavy as the head that wears the crown.
Noon.
Noon, Notre Dame takes on Navy at MetLife.
There is no way Navy doesn't cover this 12.5.
There's a lot of ways. This is the under Navy. Sorry, the under and Notre Dame.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I'll take Navy to win money line straight up and show Notre Dame what's actually up about the military academies this year, because they are actually two good teams.
I'm taking Notre Dame to cover the spread. Notre Dame rules.
I will ride alone, and next week we'll talk about this.
Oh, no. Okay. Navy's going to cover, and all three of us are wrong.
I'm still taking Navy to cover. I'm also taking Navy to money line, too.
Missouri travels to Alabama.
Alabama blows them away. Missouri's terrible. Missouri's honestly terrible. They are not good. They're not good at all. They're not good.
I think Missouri is going to be leading in the fourth quarter in this
game. Missouri legit had to outscore Auburn 15-0 last week to win.
Alabama's really not good.
Okay, I don't think either team's good, but Alabama's going to win this game by 2 points.
I'm just gonna take the under because I think that I don't know.
I want Mizzou in the over.
I'm gonna take something crazy. We'll move on. Texas travels to Vanderbilt. Texas is 18.5-point favorites. I'm taking Texas in the over. I think they're going to put up like a 40 spot.
I am legit going to actually take Vandy to cover this. Texas is still going to win this, and it's going to be the over. It's going to be a lot of points.
I'm going to say like 40-20.
I think they got all their bad juju out. I'm going Texas in the under. Another absolute murder scene. And you're like, wait a minute. What's going on in this conference?
Yeah. And then
pretty ranked win for Texas, by the way. Bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the stuff Ohio State used to get when it did rank Maryland for 1 week.
Yeah, well, you still claim your USC ranked win, so.
Yeah, I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah.
At the time. Whoa.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Let's go. Florida State and Miami. This is going to be a murder scene, by the way.
Florida State's 21.
This is going to be this. Miami is going to be dancing into the end zone like the old U, and it's going to be 49-3. Just a beat down. Yeah.
I want Florida State alt spread. I'm talking +10. They ate the shit.
Get out of here.
Florida State, this is their entire season is here. Think about this, right? You're Mike Norvell. You might go 2-10, but if you beat top 5 Miami, another 6, top 5 Miami on the road, there might be a lot of Florida State fans in this game because damn no, Miami won't have any home fans.
I know.
I think this could be an absolute stunner. Miami's going to fire a lot, dude, and their luck's going to run out at some point.
I'm taking Blake's side.
Is a ludicrous spread.
Okay,
I'm siding with Blake. I think it's going to be like a 10-point win, maybe.
Totally fine.
And then the nightcap.
Be one of those. It's 14-0 in the first quarter, like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, what the hell did I just do?
And then the nightcap. LSU travels to Kyle Field to take on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 2.5-point favorites. Let's go through. I'm gonna take Texas A&M and the under. I think Texas A&M is figuring it out, and this is gonna kind of remind me a little bit of that game against Notre Dame, but they're gonna come out on the winning side this time. I think it's gonna be like a 31. Not even like a 28-24 win.
I'm taking the over out of respect to one of the greatest games of all time with Coach O in 7 overtimes.
Yep.
This game's always a fun game. I think it's a fake rivalry. They have some sort of rivalry about it because both teams didn't really have one.
Yeah.
This is like the protected one. I know they play every year, but yeah. Shout out. I genuinely don't know who's going to win.
Oh, I do. Somehow, some way, after last week, I think they found lightning in a bottle. Go Tigers!
Yeah,
they're gonna win. They finally figured some stuff out at LSU. They figured out that they're gonna have to keep games close, late, get some good plays from Nussmeier. I think that they actually figure this out. There's something about this LSU team that is just, since they have lost to USC, they keep finding ways to win games late, and that's their formula. And that's what they're going to do right here again against A&M. They're going to keep this thing close late, and they're going to win it like almost in walk-off fashion again.
I got to say this real quick before. I'm looking at something right here. Just came up across my desk. Kansas State, Kansas.
Yes.
Kansas is 2-5.
It's only a 10-point spread, I know.
No. Kurt Signetti, buddy.
Yes.
You're old. You're probably overrated.
Jeez. Oh, my gosh.
Lance Leipold is in the exact same situation you were in last year. Other way around. He's in the situation that you could be in next year. Better play for a real program next year. Ask Matt Campbell how it's working for him.
Do you think there's a possibility that Kurt Signetti goes to Florida?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I know.
Why not? You're old. Retired to Florida from the Midwest to down retired to Florida. Duh. Everyone does it.
Wait, I have a question. Wait, there is one thing here, and there's a team struggling that he graduated from. Do you think he goes home?
Wait, who?
You really think it's a better job in Florida?
What job?
I didn't say it was a better job. I said that he's from there and he played there. I mean, they're struggling. They're struggling mightily right now.
Who's that?
West Virginia.
No, because he has basically anything he wants at Indiana.
Basically a lateral move.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He played there. That's his alma mater. He played there.
I get it, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, LSU. Your quarterback's coach is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you had
probably
for my sweet king into Michigan going down there. 2 dominoes down, one's left to fall.
Here we go again.
Okay, anyways.
That's all I have for the rest of the year is an 18-year-old picking me because we pay him more money than the other team.
Okay, anyways.
I think that's all we got for this week. Ohio State swept Wisconsin in hockey, which is huge.
I know. Shocking. I don't know how it happened. I have no idea how it happened.
We have 6 out of the 7 teams in the Big Ten ranked. Thanks, Penn State. Figure it out.
Don't ask me how it happened. Look, is Wisconsin bad? Maybe they're down this year. Anyone know? Like, do you know, Zach?
They're not as good as they were last year. That's for sure. I've been told. Minnesota's supposed to be way better.
I'll tell you this.
Oh, here we go. We shouldn't have started this. Now he's going to go on fast. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
That team, that performance was unbelievable. Dusty's going to get 2 4-stars this week and a 5-star. Absolutely cooking on the trail. The guy that was supposed to be going to Michigan State, Izzo's favorite player, Trey McKinney.
No.
One of their beat reporters the morning of said he's going to put in a crystal ball for him.
You still haven't shown me this tweet. You still haven't shown me this tweet.
And now he's coming to Michigan.
It's all right.
LCA behind the bench. It's all done deal. We're not only going to win some things this year, we're going to go on an absolute dynastic run.
Cam Ward's
Dusty May has got the boys going. He's got the culture back in this program. He's got the fan base, the passion. Does it mean Michigan football has to suck for basketball to be good? Absolutely. I don't care. We're winning the Big Ten plus 1,400. Book it.
I just want to let you guys know, since we watch basketball, Amari Bynum, 4-star recruit, committed to Ohio State today. So
I sent it in a group chat of so-called.
And he said, "Oops, wrong chat
on purpose," and no one even reacted to it.
I mean, he's top 100 ranked player, so
he's a hell of a player. My point was just that no one cared.
Well,
we have now snuck into the DMV.
Real fans care. I know.
We have now snuck into the DMV and stole their best 2 players. So
Michigan used to do that. But
well, hey, you know what? Hey, good luck to both of you this week. It should be a great, fun podcast again next week. You guys were too polite to each other. I will say that.
What?
You guys were just too polite to each other this week.
We just have to watch the game.
I'm sure it'll get nasty. Don't worry. You know it will.
I'm so ready for it.
I literally have mentions of people
remember.
Just remember the
I have
game
people out here talking about how people are like they're like, oh wow, the guy that we have has more stats than my guy. He's out for the season and didn't play a snap for Michigan this year.
The game is on.
I just want to say this.
The game is on Big Ten Network. Why are we trying to fight?
We have not made it to the point yet where there's a fake burner account of the same team's fan trying to make the other fan base look bad yet. We're almost getting there, though. It's going to happen on Thursday.
That can be arranged. But yeah, I think that's all we got for this week. Thanks always for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.